YouTube, what's going on with all my savages? Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and smash that like button if you're feeling this video. Today, we getting crazy with this shoe program, man. I seen a couple videos on the shoe. A lot of people speaking their opinions on what it's like. I'm going to speak mine, man. Out of 10 years, I spent about 80% of that 10 years in and out of these different shoes all across California. Never really been a yard baby, more of a shoe baby. For most people, they can't take it, you know. Your mind breaks down and it's fucked, you know, because you're sitting there and you don't really got a lot going on. And if you were like me, there was points in my journey, I was going to say career, right? That's kind of some prison slang shit. But in my journey where I didn't have people putting money on my books, I didn't have a TV, so I was really broken down to the bare minimum. So we're just going to get into all that. But before we do, if you like this video, like I said, smash that like button, go ahead and subscribe. Drop a comment, and if you do subscribe, hit that bell notification, and you'll be notified of future videos coming out. Another thing, I got merch coming pretty soon. Some fire-ass designs. You know, after I broke that 10,000 subscribers, much love to the Savage family. Much fucking love to the Savage family. After I broke that, we got this merch coming out. It should be coming up any day now. Maybe if not, in the next 2 days, I'll figure it out, and I'll see what's going on. But, be sure to go ahead and pick something up. I got everything coming from women's fitness clothing, guys clothing, socks, hats, cups, you name it. So with all that shit being said, let's get it. Okay. The number one main prison where the shoe that I spent most of my time and did most of my return visits to was Corcoran. You hear me always talk a lot about Corcoran. And I could get into Tehachapi and Pelican Bay. But I'm going to get into Corcoran. I'm going to stay in Corcoran just for now, you know, because I want to continue this whole shoe thing. Out of 10 years of my whole sentence, I spent about, altogether, maybe a year and 9 months to maybe 2 years. I've done the math. It's somewhere around there on the yard. It's not because of I was slammed down, super validated, and I was that motherfucker. No, it was because I was a knucklehead, always in trouble. And for me, being in the shoe, I wasn't only dealing with this 23 hours, sometimes even 24 hours a day lockdown status, but I was also dealing with hunger, you know, not being fed properly from these COs, you know, because they give their portions according to how they give them, which ain't shit. You know, they're feeding you like a little kid. We always had this joke in prison that our children or our little nieces or nephews eat more than that shit at elementary school. So, you know, it was going hungry. It was not having a TV. There was a time when no one was really fucking with me, right? Family members weren't feeling it because of the fact that I was always in trouble. I was always basically spitting in their face. And I get it. It makes sense. So I was dealing with that. Also being segregated. So my mind was being attacked, right? My mind was on the defense from the offense, always aggressing me and attacking me. That's how I felt. And the other day I was doing an interview with the Ranting Dropout, and he asked me, he said, what did you do to get through that mentality, that segregated lifestyle? And, you know, I've had nothing but cellies, you know, I've always took cellies, and they were good homies, but it was always internal, right? Because if you don't check yourself, you'd be that guy fucking up your cellies, which sometimes happened, you know. Sometimes you just couldn't get along, and this is obviously SNY because, you know, GP, you know, you can't really go there with your celly, and if you did, you know, there's always the consequences and shit. And even on SNY, you know, it's kind of frowned upon if you guys are homies or bros or whatever. But it is what it is, man. No one understands. You motherfuckers don't understand. You can't tell me shit. You know, you can't say nothing to me if you ain't been there, and you don't know the level of madness that your mind goes to. But one thing that was the biggest thing for me was reading. I read, and if I wasn't reading, I was drawing. And if I wasn't drawing, I was always working out. My day was swallowed up, and I lived according to my meals, right? You had breakfast hella early, 6-ish or something like that. I was already up. You had lunch around 11:30, 12, cool, whatever. Hold on to it for a little bit later, eat that shit, save some shit for nighttime. And then dinner comes around anywhere from 4 to 6, sometimes 6 if the COs are being asses and they want to feed you a little bit later. So I ran my schedule according to these fucking meals they served me. Being in there without those tools, I don't know what the fuck I would have done. I don't know what the fuck I don't know how I would have kept sane. But that's who I am as an individual. I don't make fucking excuses. I'm not the type of person to make excuses for not knowing what the fuck to do with my time. Be creative. You know, I always tell people be creative. You know, do something. Read a fucking book. Educate yourself. So that shit got me through. And it got me through some fucked up times because when I sat in the shoe, they were fucking with me. You know, I'd fuck around and get an indeterminate shoe. I ended up getting an indeterminate shoe. I think after my third riot, they gave me an indeterminate. And they sent me back to Corcoran with this indeterminate. So while I'm sitting in Corcoran, I'm in my fucking cell. I go to yard and I leave. I have a sewing needle because I used to like ripping up sheets and sewing up shorts, sewing up beanies or whatever the fuck. I would just sew shit. You know, just another activity to get my fucking ass through this monotonous journey that I was on. I go to yard. My sewing needle, I ended up making it out of some like flat thing off of a manila envelope that they let slip. It was about this long. And I carved a little hole in it. It was really long. I will give them that. But it wasn't thick enough to be considered shit. At all. So I go to yard, come back. My fucking cell is flipped. I got another 115. I got written up for this shit. Possession of a weapon, right? So they're trying to call this a weapon. So now my 6-month indeterminate, which I was already fucking almost done with, is now turned into a whole nother fucking indeterminate because of this little punk ass sewing needle. So someone even said the other day, you know, you don't gotta be a fucking gangster to be in the shoe. Well, first and foremost, you know, that's wrong. Like, you could go to the shoe on some accidental shit. Yeah, true. But you can't keep going back and back and back and back for some accidental shit and everyone around you not realize that. My reputation was not for going to the shoe for that. My reputation was just going there based on account of handling business and trying to get the fuck out of there because I was one of them motherfuckers that was going hungry at night. I was one of the guys that was, you know, things weren't working out. People weren't showing love. It is what it is. It comes and goes while you in prison. So I was always trying to get the fuck out of there. They weren't trying to let me go. And then I get in a fight with one of my cellies and he tried to keep my TV. He tried to fucking tell on me because what happened when I went to yard, this motherfucker is standing at the door. And in Corcoran, it's a door full of holes, right? A gang of little holes from top to bottom. And he's standing there all fucking beat up and tells them and shit. And they end up seeing that. And I got written up, but I beat the fucking write-up because the sergeant was just on some G shit. The sergeant was just like, look, man, we didn't catch you guys. You know, he told on you after the fact, but we didn't see shit. It is what it is. I didn't even want to go out to that 115 hearing. I refused to go out. I found out that I was not guilty just by getting that shit back in the mail. So it was little instances like that that were adding to the fucking fire that was burning within me, right? And then people think you go to the shoe and things calm down. That's a negative. You go to the fucking shoe and things are picking up. That's where all the drama picks up. That's where all the backbiting and the shit talking and and plotting on other homies and that's on both sides of the gate. Cause believe it or not, who I was affiliated with in SNY, we had our own blocks in Corcoran Shoe. They gave us our own blocks. And it was the same shit. You know, you had homies that would turn around, we getting drunk on the tier, you know, we made some wine or some Pruno. Next thing you know, homie stabbing the shit out of his cell. He stabbed him 15 times. I heard it, but when I saw the forensic report, there was about an inch of blood in this whole cell with bloody handprints all over the wall where his cellie was trying to run away from him. You had another homie beat the shit out of his cellie. Beat the shit. Drinking again. Beat the shit out of his cellie. Airlifted his cellie out of the cell. Right? So you got all this mayhem and madness going on, and it kind of swallows you up. If you let it, it will swallow you up. If you don't find tools, something positive to focus on, if you don't work out, exercise, you will get swallowed up. Your brain will shut down on you. I've seen people go, they can't take the segregation. They can't take the sensory deprivation. They can't take the isolation. For me, it wasn't that fucking bad. When I first got there, yeah. You know, when I first got there, it fucked with me a little bit. It got to me. But after a while, it was a cool, comfortable program. Matter of fact, when I ended up paroling in 2015 and they ended up picking up that other case and I went down to Bakers County, back up to Wasco Reception, they sent me to the hole. They sent me straight to D6 in Wasco because I was on an indeterminate shoe term when I paroled. So when I came back, these motherfuckers were trying to kick me out to the yard and I told them, look, just send me back to Corcoran Shoe. Like, just send me back to the shoe. I found comfort in the shoe. And a lot of people say you can hide out in the shoe. And you know what? I'm going to be real with you. Like, I was just trying to go kick it. If I'm going to deal with somebody's shit, give me a celly. And we can handle it in the cell. All that being on the yard with all the drama and all that bullshit, whatever. I much prefer that man-to-man shit just in the cell. If you got a problem, we bring it up. Go from there. Because there's been plenty of times where I kicked off a lot of shit while I was in the shoe. I had a lot of political shit going on with people, you know, going back and forth on paper saying this guy, this guy. My number one remedy for motherfuckers that I used to tell them was just come in my fucking cell. Come in my cell right now. We'll handle this situation like men. If you come in my cell, we could talk about this. If you ain't going to sell up with me, I think everybody who's speaking on this matter should just shut the hell up. So, what did it do to me, right? This is what I noticed. I got kicked out of the shoe. The first riot, I got kicked out of the shoe. To Corcoran, to one of the 4 yards. It was either B yard or A yard, but I'm pretty sure it was B yard. And kicked off a melee, right? Kicked off a melee with some blacks and bloods and crips and shit. And they sent me right back. I was only on that yard for 2 months. While I was on that yard, all I could think about was not wanting to program amongst this many inmates, not wanting to be around this many fucking people. Why was I this way? Why the fuck? You want to know why? Because they took that from me. They took that pleasure of like programming, like everything's cool. I'm going to walk around here. You know, I'm going to chop it up with the homie. Nah, I was the homie that just was highly on edge all the time. Now, shout out to the homies that's been in the fucking pen for 20, 25 years. Shout out to the homies that been in the pen for 6 years or more. Period. Because for the little times that I was there, if doing a year there, a year here, a year there, that shit altered my brain and how I was seeing people, how I was seeing things. I did not believe in the same concepts that I believed as far as programming and talking to people and trusting people. They had isolated me. They had dominated me through their protocol, walking us to committee with your hands handcuffed, straddle the chair. They got the whole committee, the whole captain's IGI, goon squad, everyone's staring at you. Sometimes they talk shit, make jokes about it, and you know, basically get into your fucking head that you less than they are as a human being. People talk a lot of shit, but in segregation is where people break. Because although I got through it, although I was able to manage, because that's just where I spent all my fucking time, was in the ad seg. 9 out of 10 motherfuckers who hit administrative segregation go batshit crazy. They just can't handle it. They either take it out on themselves, their cellies, they take it out in some form or fashion on their loved ones, on their family members. I got to a point where I could program quietly, not say shit to nobody because it's where I wanted to be. Corcoran Shoe. As soon as you jump off that fucking bus, if you've ever been to Corcoran Shoe, they tell you to look to the sky. And if you look anywhere other than that fucking sky, you're tasting the dirt. And if you don't know about that shit, you ain't been to Corcoran Shoe. You just ain't been there. They don't play no games there. Yeah, you can get got. Them CEOs that get you. They're known for fucking shit up in Corcoran Shoe. The biggest problem that we have to deal with today for people who've done a lot of time in the shoe that get out of the shoe, salute once again to the homies who've done major years. That should have give you PTSD. That should have really traumatized your frame of mind, because you hold everybody accountable. Because when you in that cell, you hold yourself accountable and you hold your cellie accountable to the highest level. You gonna take a shit, you close the curtain, you put that blocker up. You gonna take a piss, you sit down and take a piss. You know, wipe that motherfucker. If there's a little drop or dribble that you leave behind, put them blockers up. Because if a female walks by, a CO, and sees that shit, you know, you liable to get a bad fucking write-up, and I'm gonna have to mash on you. If they put them yellow things on your windows, they put that for the people who jack up. They put those on your window, because if you get a faulty write-up, you got no choice but to murk on your cellie. Take them down. So I think that affects people when they get out of the shoe. They have this crazy, unrealistic expectation of accountability. And I find myself doing that shit with everyone around me. I'm the only one out here around the people who know me that run such a tight program. And people always tell me, even my beautiful wife tells me, baby, your expectations are crazy. You know, when I first got out, I changed a lot. When I first got out, I was waking up 4, 5 in the morning, running program, I would even tell her, like, babe, you gotta get up. We gotta get going. We gotta attack life. We gotta program. I'm not for all this laying around shit. I don't do that shit. Yeah, the shower shoes in the shower and all that shit, I still do that, but that's a little trivial matter. The big shit that I'm dealing with now is the mentality shit. Learning how to just calm down, relax, breathe, let motherfuckers in, let your walls down. Because if you don't, you're going to be in the shoe for the rest of your life. But the shoe going to be right here. The shoe going to be right here. People go suicidal watch. They go EOP. They go crazy. They do all this shit just to get out of doing time in the shoe. They break. It's a very monotonous program when every time you look out your fucking cell door, you see the inside of your section building. That's it. You don't walk the tier. You don't walk around. When you get your little hour a yard or however much they were giving you when I was in the shoe, that's it. You go to the cages, you come back. And back then, they would run the hard yard and it was even more dangerous. So salute to them homies that went through that. You get to the shoe, 1 month, mandatory, at least 1 month before you get your property. Your TV, your little things that make you feel like you might be comfortable. You better be willing to wait that 1 month with nothing. With nothing. Using tooth powder. They give you that cheap ass tooth powder, drinking little punk ass state packs of coffee. You better be good with that. Because that's all you got coming for at least a month. Store comes once a month. Everybody's draw comes once a month. In the middle of the month or something. Every prison, runs it differently. But even then, you're limited. I think it was like $55 that you could get. What you gonna get? You gotta get some soups, you gotta get toothpaste, you gotta get hygiene, and then you don't even get me started on how they fuck with you on your mail. You getting 2-month-old mail. You didn't already fucking wrote your lady cussing her out, telling her how much of a fucking piece of shit she is because she's cheating on you for not writing you back. Then you get a letter as soon as you send it out. Like they almost know that. And the letter's telling you how much she loves you and all this other bullshit, right? They hold your mail. They fuck with you. They do it to twist you up and break you. You don't got your light on? When they come for breakfast or you ain't up, they're moving right past you with that breakfast cart. What you gonna do about it? What the fuck you gonna do about it? You gonna raise war? You're gonna go at it with them for your breakfast tray? You're gonna board up? Because that's the only form of communication that works in the shoe, but it's costly. And I've been through a few myself. We call those cell extractions. And they fuck you up. Especially in Corcoran. You're going to know what the taste of pepper spray is. That's guaranteed. No matter what. They may fucking break bones. Beat your head in. Take you down the fucking stairs. Handcuffed. Slapping you around. Calling you all kinds of names. Throwing you in the heat. But at the end of all that, you're going to know what pepper spray tastes like. I promise you're going to know. So people want to glorify prison. And they want to glorify the shoe. Well, hey, shit. The shoe fucked me up because the shoe transformed me to like the shoe. The shoe transformed me to love the shoe. It was my own little slice of heaven because it was my world of little fucking not having to deal with a bunch of people and their punk ass emotions. Just me, my celly, and our program. Had our shows, heat up our little chanate, our little coffee, drink that coffee. Read your fucking books. I'll read books, man. That shit was like a show. I'll be at yard thinking about, man, I just want to get back to the cell and read my fucking book. Game of Thrones, Julius Caesar series, Genghis Khan series, all that shit. I was all for it. Now, I deal with the remnants of what they did to me. They took a part of my personality, right? They suppressed me as an individual and a human being. And I saw it. Every time they kicked me out to the yard, I was more and more and more filled with fucking anxiety. Not that you could see, not that they could see, not that anybody could see. But it's the same anxiety that I still live with to this fucking day. I go to Walmart Supercenter. I don't like people around me. I don't like all these motherfucking people. I don't trust these people. People are capable of causing you harm at any time. I'm getting better though because I put myself in these situations and I throw myself into big crowded situations as a form of just trying to walk through the fire to fix what's wrong up here. But this video is basically just a quick little spill on Corcoran Shoe and basically on how the fuck it made me feel. It was a dark, desolate place. They offer no type of help of communication to anybody. There's no cameras on those inside of those fucking buildings and those pods. So when those COs want to fuck you off like they're going to, believe they're going to. The nurses will be in on it. Everyone will be in on it. and all you got is your little punk ass form of communication doing sign language in the back window to the homies in the other block, letting them know, hey, the cops are coming to search. Clean your shit up. Right? That's no man's land. It's just no man's land. Every shoe is no man's land. But it got better. Things got better. But the prison shoes were fucked up. They broke people off 10, 15, 20 years back there. That validation process ain't no fucking joke. It ain't no fucking joke. So this integration shit they're doing, it's to go back to the courts and say, look at what everybody fucking did. Open up the shoes ASAP. We need them back. And they're probably most likely going to. So let's stay the fuck out of trouble, people, and let's not get sent back to the shoe. Yo, just wanted to drop some quick knowledge on this real quick. If you like the video, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, drop a comment, just like I told you in the beginning of this motherfucking video. Shout out to all my savages. Be on the lookout for that merch. And much love and respect, man. You already know the deal. Stay tuned, stay aware, stay safe, and stay dangerous, my savages. Much love. Deuces.